Hey everybody, it's Martha. Welcome to my Shabby Craft Studio. I appreciate you being here. Today I am making a mess, and I hope you join me. Actually, I went shopping yesterday and I hit the napkin mother lode, and I've seen a lot of people doing Christmas and autumn journals, and I said I wasn't going to get on that bandwagon, and guess what? I jumped on that bandwagon. Couldn't help it. So there it is. You got to do what you got to do, right? So I'm having a little fun. My last journal was pretty intense, and I've been really busy making the ephemera folios. Thank you to everybody who's purchased one of those, by the way. I really appreciate it. And so I needed to just do something kind of freeform, have some fun, not overthink it. And so I decided that I was going to pull out this paper pack because it is huge and I really like the papers in it. It is DCWV, the heirloom stack, and I have some napkins cut out over here and they're blowing everywhere. But I really like this paper. And a lot of it is autumn colors. So I thought, that's what I'm going to use. Need to use up the paper so that, you know, I can always go buy more. I'm trying really hard not to hoard things. It's not going well. But anyway, as usual. And then, as I said, I hit the napkin mother lode yesterday. If you all have a store near you called And That's what the store is called. And That. ANDTHAT. Napkins. They had a ton of napkins. This is just two of the packages that I got. And I paid $1.99 for each of these packs. And I got a ton of other napkins that I'm not going to show you right now. But I paid $1 for some of the packs. And they're awesome napkins. I mean, this is better than the prices at Tuesday Morning. So if you're in the U.S. and you have that store, go check it out. I was also able to find, and this was the only one in the store that I could find, they're paper placemats. And move it so it's centered. And this is a pretty big package. I mean, pretty big. It's 16 by 11, and I'm glad I have a ruler that big. And the placemats in it are really pretty. There's two designs. There's this design, and there's only a few of the other design. I'm not sure why they chose to do it this way, but there's this design. And I mean, hello journal pages, right? So we're going to use some of those. I don't know if this video is going to go over in one video or two or more, but we're going to make a journal. So what I did was I pulled out a bunch of the pages, and some of them I've already worked on, but these are the pages from this paper pack, just some of them. And yesterday I went through and I gessoed the plain white side of a bunch of the pages. And the reason I did that is because I want to be able to do a bunch of collage and stuff on some of them. These are the rest of the pages. I've cut them down because that paper pad is 12 by 12, of course. And so I cut them down to 8.5 by 11 because that's my favorite size of journal to make. So these do not have gesso on them, these pages here. And because they're already decorative on one side, I'm not sure what I'm going to do on the other. I might glue two of them together. I might just ink them. I don't know. I have not, up to this point, tea-dyed any of my paper pack pages. That's something I may do. I just haven't done it yet. So these are some of the pages that, well, I'll show you the first couple I did yesterday. If I can sort through this. I have a lot going on here. Let me put these aside. Okay, so this was the first one I did yesterday, and I think that came out really, I'm very pleased with it. It's really pretty in my opinion, but you know, that's me. So, napkin, stamp, sticker, stamp. And I gessoed the background, I inked it, I stamped some script on it, and then tore the napkins out and stamped and stickered and some stuff. So that's that one, and that one is done. I'm just going to leave this side plain. And then I did this one, and it's gessoed. No, it's not. This one is not gessoed. It's inked and stamped. And I don't know, can you see? I have this sort of wheat stamp, and I'll show that to you. I hope the lighting is okay. I'm struggling here in the basement with lighting. So, but that one, I got these stamps recently, and I just thought they were so cute. Okay, so this is a Kaiser Craft stamp with the mushrooms in it. And this stamp, I have no idea. I took the label off, so I don't know, but it came in that set. It's probably a bow bunny, maybe. I don't know, but I stamped it very lightly and just put it on, and I did one this direction and one this direction, so they're kind of crossing over each other. In fact, let's do one of those now. And I pulled out some of my little archival inks. I have been using a lot more archival ink lately. I feel like with the whole mixed media thing with the gesso, and I never know what else I'm going to pull out to play with. The archival ink is permanent, so it won't run like the distress inks and distress oxides. Those are water reactive, so you're gonna end up with, you know, if you want to gesso again or whatever, they could bleed and run. So I just think that's really pretty. I mean, it's not 100% clear, but I'm okay with that. I want it to be a little faded and aged and, you know, kind of blowing in the wind looking. So I really like that stamp, and I thought it fit in well with the autumn thing. Then I have all these napkins. This napkin I already had. Let me pull it out. I didn't even realize I had it. I must have bought it maybe last year, but it's huge. Really huge. And it's very autumn looking too. So I thought, yep, pull that out. And I have all these sunflower napkins from when I was doing the sunflower journals. And then this one with the leaves is just, I just love the leaves. And I even love that this color is in there, because you can use a lot of these colors any time of year, especially this pretty turquoise. So I just did this one, and I'm letting the glue dry before I do any more inking or distressing or gessoing over it to sort of fade it into the background, because some of those colors are bright. But this page I really like because it looks like weathered wood. So I ended up gessoing it and putting this big part of this napkin on there, and I think that's just going to be really pretty. And I'm not done. I'm probably going to do other stuff to it. And the other reason I wanted to do, same with this. I just did this one, and it needs to be like faded into the background. Didn't do anything with this side yet, but I did share my gesso with it, so I don't know what I'm going to do with that side. I may just leave it because nothing's perfect, right? So this one is dry enough for me to sort of use a little ink on it. Now I really want to use my tea-dyed distress, but it's just too, I just don't want to take a chance with it running if I decide to gesso over this again. So I'm not going to do that because I don't want a muddy mess. But anyway, what was I going to tell you? I started to say something, and of course that train left the track. Oh, I don't know. I did decide to pull out my little archival inks. I have sepia, I have potting soil, and I have plum. I haven't tried the plum yet, but I do need to get like the little inker refills for these things because they've been sitting there for, I think I bought these all within the last year. And I noticed that some of my ink pads really dry out very quickly. And even when I re-ink them, they seem to not stay very inked. I see people using ink pads on YouTube, and a lot of them seem very juicy. And mine, even after I re-ink them, they don't seem very juicy. All right. So see how that toned that down a little bit? And I could gesso it again and then ink it again and tone it down even more, which maybe I'll try that. So my paintbrush that I use for my gesso is absolutely falling apart. The paint is totally coming off the handle. And I have other paintbrushes that are acrylic handles, and I really need to get those out and use them, actually. So, oh, I know what I was going to tell you. So, this journal that I'm working on, when it is done, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with it, but I sort of have a plan, and if it comes out the way I'd like it to, then hopefully that plan will come together. But I know that with all my lovely new subscribers, hello, and thank you for being here. Oh, that's a little too much. Too much. Yeah. There you go. That I really need to do a giveaway. Yep, I said it. So I'm thinking that there will be a choice between two things for a giveaway. And one of them will be this journal. So you can watch out for that video. It's going to be in the future. I have been extremely busy with making folios and filling requests for those. And I want to thank everybody who has sent me a convo on Etsy and, you know, asked questions and requested them. I really appreciate it. I like making them. I don't do custom. I just told myself that I used to do custom yarn spinning, and I was disappointed when people decided to ask for something specific and then they didn't buy it. And I could have started, you know, pre-charging them, but I didn't want to run my business that way. So, and it was very stressful for me to do a custom order. See how that toned that down so much now? I think it's a lot prettier. And then we can go back over it. Maybe we'll put a little, maybe we'll try a little sepia. So for me, it's a little stressful, and I probably should wait until this gesso dries before I do this. Oh, what the heck, right? That noise you hear out there, we live on a golf course, so lots of maintenance always going on out there, so I apologize. Yeah, so custom orders are not my thing. I can't take the stress. I don't enjoy, oh, I really like that. I like it. So see, we're going to start with this one. And this one's bright like that one was. And look how much toned down it's become. See? much more toned down. Even though in the camera this still looks really bright over here, it doesn't look that bright in person. So yeah, I'm not into custom orders. I'll take requests for, you know, for whatever, but if I don't have the materials, I'm not going to run all over the place and order them and, you know, search 10 stores to try and find the right thing. If I have it, I have it. If I don't, I'm sorry. I'm just not going to do that. And it's very, very hard for me to say no to anything or anybody. I have issues with that. But anyway, so we were house hunting and we thought we found the right house, but things happened and so that's not going to work out for us. So I need to move my space, my workspace again, because it's just not working out for me here in the basement. My husband runs up and down the basement stairs like 20 times a day. He's always doing stuff down here, and he runs down to get the dogs and bring them up to do cookies or go outside or whatever, and it's just not working. I need a room where I can sort of close myself off, and when he's doing his thing, he's not driving me nuts. So he just left. He was down here. I was all ready to record and show you all what I was doing, and I had everything set up, and I had cut out all the, not cut out, but torn out all the napkin bits. And next thing I know, he's down here slamming things in the unfinished part of the basement, which is right across the room from me. And, ooh, I like that. That came out good. And see, if I'd done this, if I had stamped this in Distress ink, that probably would have smudged. And this way, it does not. So I'm glad I used the archival ink on that. I know everybody really loves the Distress inks and everything, but I have found myself using the archival inks a whole lot more, especially the coffee archival ink, and I'm really liking that. I like how it fades it to the background. Yep. So yeah, I don't know, since we're not going to move now, I may move back to my sunroom. At least then I can close the sunroom doors. It doesn't cut all the noise, but I think I'm going to kick him out of the sunroom and and I'm going to move back in. I only moved down here because we thought we were moving, and we didn't want to show the house like, and again, I should wait for this gesso to dry. We didn't want to show the house with the sunroom all full of my stuff for making. My busy making stuff. But since we're not selling the house now, I can move back in. There. So see how that faded that out so much? And again, for me in person, it's a lot more faded than it was. So yeah, I'm having a lot of, oh, I need to do this side too. I'm having a lot of fun with this, this technique that I learned from both Andrea Allen at Artie Mays and G. Kerr. And that's her YouTube channel name. So I'm really having a lot of fun with this. I think I'm going to do something first. I'm going to risk it here. I am going to stamp this. It's very subtle. But I just wanted a little extra stamping on there. And then, oh shoot, way too much. one of these days, I keep thinking I want to try staining the gesso, a little bit of gesso with some of the stain, the oxide stuff, stain, the Tim Holtz stuff. I have a few bottles of it, and I'm not very adventurous with it. But then I had this gesso, and I wasn't very adventurous with that either, and now I use it all the time. It's an obsession of the moment. Is there a name for that? Obsessions of the moment. OOTM. Obsessions of the moment. Alrighty. This is really wet. I don't want wet. When I was using my, when I was tearing apart the napkins, I used a water brush, and I had this one from Faber-Castell that I got with my gelato crayons, but it either doesn't give me enough water or it leaks water all over the place. This one I've had for a long time, and it's made in Japan, but there is not a name on it, so I don't know who made it. But it's easy to fill, and it works a little better than the Faber-Castell one. So I'm going to try... I don't know whether to try that. I don't think so. I'm not brave enough to try the plum quite yet. We're gonna use the sepia. Sepia? Sepia. I don't know. I've always been teased about the way I pronounce things. You know, I grew up in upstate New York, and I had parents that were born and raised in Maine, so they had maniac accents. And I guess I was just an odd child, just like I'm an odd adult. Ooh, I like that. That worked well. Isn't that pretty? So I guess I've always sort of had a problem with saying things weird. Although, it's not all my fault. My brothers and I all went to high school, and the name of the high school was Charlotte. I didn't know everybody else pronounced that word Charlotte until I was an adult, and I said something weird like Charlotte's Web, and everybody laughed at me. And I'm like, what? And they're like, it's Charlotte. And I'm like, what? I'd never heard of that. I was a very, very protected child, I guess. I don't know. And so I didn't know it was Charlotte for the longest time because we pronounced it Charlotte. So can't blame me for pronouncing things weird. I grew up pronouncing things weird, I guess. So that's my claim, and I'm sticking to it. I like that. So the other thing I'm going to do with this journal is, I don't know, probably about 6 or 9 months ago, maybe longer than that. Maybe it was over winter. I don't know. I made a ton of ephemera ahead of time, and I don't use it. I don't use it. When I make a journal, I have found that I make specific ephemera for that journal. And I don't know why, but like if it's a lighter, not real grungy, botanical, flowery, nature-themed journal, I don't use this stuff that I made last year or 9 months ago or over the winter or whenever I made it. I tend not to use that. So I want to use it up. I want to use it so that I can have some fun and make some more ephemera that is more generalized and not that I can use in anything. I've seen Gail and Rachel and Tina at Shabby Dabby Doodah and Wendy at Wendy's Journal Adventures and Gina at Firefly Studio. Everybody is making all this really fun ephemera, and I want to make it, but I'm stuck on this thing where I tend to only use the ephemera I make in the moment for that particular journal. So I want to use up this box of ephemera that I have that I've not used yet, and I think it'll go well in this journal. So this is just an easy journal to have some fun with and to play around with and to just kind of use up some stuff I already have. Of course, I am using new napkins, but that doesn't count. We're not counting that. So I do wish these weren't quite so big. You know, they're very large. Very, very large. Tear that off. I want to make it look like there are leaves falling onto the ground. And if I had some small ones, I could put them on the bottom. Maybe I do. Hold that thought. I'm looking at the paper pad over here. The paper napkins. Hold on. Not the paper napkins, paper placemats. I guess I could give that a try, right? Why not? All these napkin bits are blowing all over the place, though. But I think I'm going to cut these out because this is paper and not I love how they sort of smudged the edges there. Very cool. So I hope this finds everybody well. It's Tuesday, and today it is going to be, I believe, in the 80s here. It rained most of the day yesterday, which we really desperately needed. So that was nice. But tomorrow it's supposed to be, well, first the weather said it was going to be near 100. And that has changed. Now I think they're saying it's going to be like 90 tomorrow. And then on Saturday, it's supposed to be like 65 as a high. So, I guess you could say fall is arriving, I guess. We're supposed to go see one of our granddaughters who is only 5, but she's on a soccer team. And they are going to be down in the city that's closer to us, Fredericksburg, in Virginia. And she is supposed to go play a couple of scrimmage games, I guess. My daughter's not really sure. She just, whoever the coach is very non-forthcoming, I guess. And I think I need to use coffee. And so we're excited about that because we don't get up there very often to see them play or see her play up near where they live because we have dogs and the dogs have some health issues and we can't leave them very long. So I'm going to cut that. Just driving me nuts. There. So we don't go up there very often, and they're so busy. I mean, between the between the activities that they do, school, my daughter and son-in-law working crazy, crazy hours like they do. See, I don't even know if I'm going to put pockets on here. All right, so what we're going to do first is stamp. I'm going to stamp, stamp, stamp. Okay. I got this stamp at Hobby Lobby when they had them on sale. It was $10.99. It is Stampendous, I think. Faded text background. So when I stamp, I use, if I could just find it, I use this thin foam sheet because I just find that the stamps better. I don't know. It just seems to take better to the stamping. And I usually only use it for the clear stamps, but I have found that even with the rubber stamps, it works really well. Now I'm just lightly tapping that and then stamping. And there's enough to get it twice. And see how faded that looks? I really like it. Yeah, so I am ever so grateful that the great Gail, the great and wonderful Gail Augustinelli, has been so kind to share some of my things. She tagged me in the 10 crafty questions thing. And that was fun. And she bought one of my ephemera folios, and that was fun. And so that has driven a lot of traffic to me on my YouTube channel and my Etsy store, and I couldn't be more grateful. I mean, things are lovely for me right now, and I'm good with that. I'm happy. I am happy. I love doing this. I love making things. I love the people that have sent me this glue. It's supposed to be the blue Yoo-hoo glue, and it turned white. I don't know why. And it doesn't seem to stick really well to the it seems to do okay for the napkins, but it doesn't stick paper very well to the gesso. And if you hear that noise in the background, that's my little white dog snoring. My little 8-pound dog snoring up a storm. She's, can you hear it? Oh, she stopped. She knew I was talking about her. That's her. I was being quiet to see if you could hear it. She's something, I swear. I wanted to use some of these leaves because that's the color on the paper. Yep. So I have a lot of stuff to use, and this isn't anything you haven't seen me do before. I did my other video on this. And by the way, I had somebody request that I show how to use the crocodile. So I will be making that video. It may not be, it'll be sometime this week. I will show that video. I will shoot it and show it. And it's not going to be a very long one. I'm no expert, but I have figured out a few tricks. So it may help others. And if I can help others, I like doing that. So yeah, so when you do this kind of stuff, you just have to jump in, really, and you just start playing with it. Pull some stuff out of your drawers, stuff that you tend not to reach for. I like to use, pretty little flowers, and I don't go real junky, and it's I guess shabby chic kind of stuff, I guess, is what it's more like. And I I tend to go that route as opposed to, I like that. I just like it right up in the corner. As opposed to, you know, real grunge or these colors. I absolutely love these colors, but I don't tend to reach for them on a regular basis. So I reached in, I got my papers, I decided I was going to use a lot of my paper pad paper out of that paper pad. So pick a paper pad you're not crazy about, and or that you tend not to use a lot. You bought it for a reason, and even if it's one you're hoarding, pull it out, use it, because you know what? Then when it's gone, you get to go get another one or get a different one or experiment with something else. So there we go. When that glue dries, I'm going to use a little bit of gesso and a little bit of ink, and we're going to play with that one. So let's grab another. And I always have to check to see if there's writing on it, because if it has writing on it, I want the writing to be right side up and my picture's right side up, which doesn't always happen. Right after I did that video, the last one I did where I showed me sewing the signatures using my pillow form, my foam pillow form, yeah, I sewed an ephemera folio, and my husband called, and I stopped to answer the phone call, and I took a good look at my ephemera folio, and I sewed 4 of the 5 signatures in upside down. So yeah, that happened. I was not a happy camper. Luckily, they're pretty simple to take out. But yeah, that was not a good day. I was very unhappy with myself after that. So, and that's what happens when my mind is elsewhere when I'm crafting, which it often is. It's often wandering here and there and the other places, because that's kind of my soul, is a wandering soul. And so, yeah, there's that. The best of us can make those boo-boos. Okay. So, I want to use this. I really like this leaf. And I think I'm going to use... I guess it would go this way since the stem is... Yeah. Ooh, I like that. Okay, this one's going to go over here. Because I've got the straight edge there. I want the straight edge on the straight edge of the page. Just curling. Okay, so, uh-oh. Where's my pin? There it is. You know how it is. Don't put the pin back in. Then you struggle later on. Oops. And like I said, I don't even know if half of this is going to get covered up because of pockets, or I'm thinking that because this has gesso on it, it'd be good for writing on. So, you know, you can write in a journal even if there's stuff on the page. You just write around it, right? So if you're going to write in a journal like this, I'm sorry, concentrating. Okay. So if you're going to write on a journal like this, you've got all this writing space up here, and I think it just makes the page pretty that way. If you don't like what I've put on it, cover it up. It's your journal, right? So that's how I look at it. You don't like it, cover it up. Do something different with it. Make it your own. Which I think I've mentioned this in one of the other videos. But one of my customers bought one of my ephemera folios. And man, oh man, she made a beautiful cover out of it. I might have put it on Instagram. I think I did. My Instagram, I have two. I have one that is MJ Managross, and I have one that is Shabby Craft Studio. So if you want to look me up, you want to join me there, I'd like that. I would appreciate it very much. I didn't stamp, did I? I have this little text stamp. Do you know I cannot get this stamp off of this acetate? Like literally, if I keep pulling beyond that, it's going to tear the stamp in half. And that's just crazy. I can't get over it that it's that hard to get off of the acetate. I mean, it's insane how difficult it is. I've tried and tried and tried. Oops, get over there. There, that's better. I knew something was missing. Background was a little plain. Just a little plain. I know, I should have a stamp sheet. I'm getting there. I've not caught on to some things as fast as other people. I think I'm going to do... I really want to use my tea stain. Even though I said I wasn't going to. Oh, that might be neat. Now I'm looking at my other stuff. I have 2 fossilized ambers, so go figure that one out. I wanted a new yellow. I wanted a couple other ones like honey and a couple other ones. And there's one somebody uses a lot. Now I can't remember what it is, but it's one of the yellowy type ones, and I can't find it anywhere. I need to get it from scrapbook.com. Very faint. Now that'll probably smudge if I'm going to try this. This one's really juicy. This is my juiciest ink pad. That's cute. There. Very pretty. Okay. So anyway, this is a scattered. I'm sorry, I'm so scattered. It's bad. It's been a rough weekend and week for me. So, oops, just threw that right off of my table. So I apologize for being scattered. Okay, so we're gonna go back to this one because it's now dry enough for me to work on, and I am going to. I think I'll use the sepia. I really liked the way that came out last time. So I'm going to ink this first. A little bit of ink. Little bit. I don't know if you can see the changes. Very subtle changes on these as I'm doing this. But then we're going to whitewash it with the gesso. I really need to get some clear gesso. I don't know if I did get clear gesso. I should check my drawer. Where are we? Oh, 43 minutes. Well, this is obviously going to be more than one video, but the good part about that is that's okay. Gives me a subject for my next video. Because I'm struggling, people. I am struggling. The struggle is real. I don't know what to do. I don't feel like I'm very good at the craft with me's, so, you know, the struggle is real for me to come up with video content. I don't think I'm as interesting as our lovely others that are really good at chit-chat while they're just crafting and doing craft with me's. But, of course, they always do really interesting things, too, and I've done this already. Not with this one, but I have done this already. So it's not like this is new. So I feel like this could be boring for you all. I don't really have a whole lot to talk about. I don't go anywhere interesting or do anything fun. I lead a very dull, boring, plain life. Not that I want it that way, but it's just the way it is. Living in the South, it's either too hot or too cold. And it's not where we grew up. We don't have family here except for our daughter and son and 2 granddaughters, and they're busy, so we don't have a lot of time to spend. I mean, they don't have a lot of time to spend with us. Although, my daughter really shocked me. I posted the hydrangeas in the rain journal last week that I made, and that my lovely, awesome customer purchased. Thank you again. And my daughter, who doesn't normally really appreciate my crafting, she's a very smart girl. She's not a girl. She's a woman. Yeah, when your kids hit 40, it's rough. And she's almost there. But she actually commented on my Facebook photo that I should make one similar for granddaughter number 1, who is 9 going on 29. Their birthdays, both granddaughters have birthdays in December. And then, of course, there's Christmas. Isn't that pretty? I like the way that came out. This is going to be very pretty in the journal. Yeah, I'm very pleased with the way this is coming out. All right, so we have to do this one. And I about fell off my chair when I read that this morning, that she thinks I should make my granddaughter one. She said, you know she loves anything handmade by you. But, you know, I made things when Gia was born. That's her name. When Gia was born, I made quilts. I made crocheted blankets. I made pillows. And none of that stuff is in her room now. My daughter has taken it all out. I don't even know if she's kept it or if it went to a thrift shop and somebody else has it. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what happened to that stuff. My daughter is not, she's not a hoarder. She is so not a hoarder. That is just too wet. And she tends to, as soon as the girls outgrow something, it's gone. Like it's gone. She does not hold on to things at all. Clothing, sheets, blankets, anything. She appliances, you know, small appliances. She'll use something for a while and then get rid of it and get the next new one. Or so she is so not a keeper of things, a sentimentalist. So not. So she's like her father that way. That side of the family, they just, my mother-in-law, same way. She'll just get rid of stuff in a heartbeat. So these need, like I said, these need a lot more. But, you know, that's down the road. I wanted to get the bases done on these gessoed sheets. So we did that one and that one. And that one. And that one I did prior. Did that one and did that one. I think this is going to be a really pretty journal. And you can write. You can write over this because it's been gessoed. Can't write over this. Well, maybe you could. But it's a sticker. But that I printed off. Probably, I don't remember whose shop I got that from. But I printed it on clear sticker paper. So there's that. So we're almost there. I'm going to continue to work on these off camera. And I am going to put in some lovely tea-stained papers. Add some of these to, not all of them. That'd be really thick. There's probably going to be 3 signatures, unless it gets too bulky, and then there will be 5. And there's going to be a lot of pre-made ephemera go into these. I have this lovely, crash bang. I have this lovely box full of pre-made ephemera that I don't touch when I'm making other journals. I'm trying to pick things up because I have paper sitting on top of document protectors, page protectors, and those page protectors are so slippery. So yeah, I have all this stuff pre-made, and I need to use it. So, so it's going to go in this journal, and some of it I may package up and put in the Etsy shop. I don't know. We'll see. So thank you for joining me today. I had a lot of fun. I have 2 more videos I have to make, so that means I have to clean all this up. And if I can make them while my husband is still out, I will be able to post them later in the week, because I don't have a whole lot of time alone in the house when it's quiet. He's a very noisy man. So, I don't know what to tell you. But I know he's going out tomorrow to go see our other horse as well. So if I don't get it done today, I'll get it done tomorrow. So you can look for those. One is a Happy Mail I received, and I have not had a chance to make that video yet. And the other one is on the crocodile, which I'm not an expert, but somebody asked me to do it to show, and I want to get that done so that since it was a request, I feel like I really want to do that. Okay, everybody, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. Hugs to you all. I hope you have a great crafting day. Make a mess, have some fun, let loose, let the leaves fall. I know it's really hot in some parts of the country, and our dear Gail is getting had like feet of snow this weekend. So, but she is on the trek to the wonderful gathering that she's doing in Denver, which we all wish we could be at, but we can't. So, hopefully those that go will be able to share. And, yeah, tear some napkins up, get some gesso out, get some glue stick out, get some ink out, and have some fun. I don't know if you noticed, but I've been using these brushes because they spread the ink more faintly. You don't get that deep dark color, and if you don't want a tea stain, then you get the effect anyway, right? So I'm really enjoying using the brushes. Somebody said Dollar Tree has these. I have not found them at my Dollar Tree yet, but I keep stopping at a new Dollar Tree, which is very small and doesn't even have pretty napkins. So there you go. Take care. Love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. You have no idea what it means to me to have reached over 500 subscribers. I just hope I can keep you interested. So take care, everybody, and keep watching. Hit subscribe if you liked it. Make comments, please. If you have requests, let me know what they are. Not that I'm an expert at anything, but I'm willing to give just about anything a shot. So make requests. I love the comments. I try to respond as quickly as I can, though I am a little bit behind from this weekend because we did a lot of stuff. And so you guys take care. All right, I'm going to shut up now and say goodbye. Bye.